Welcome to Table from One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'm playing another solo-only button-shy wallet game. This is SpaceShipped. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am set up to play SpaceShipped. Of all the button-shy solo wallet games that I've played, this one, I had a harder time figuring out how to play it, just learning how everything worked. But once I did, I really enjoyed it. This is a pretty neat game. So we're going to be flying around as galactic traders. We're going around the galaxy, traveling from planet to planet, trading goods, and trying to get some super special crystals. So this is our starting spaceship. Red is health and blue is shields. We have basic shields, which gives you a maximum shield of 1. So this shields card acts as a counter. So we've got a ship and a piece of equipment. And then we've got a crew member here who lets you repair 1 hull or 1 shield for $1, I'll say dollar. I think they're mega credits in the book, but for $1. And then this counter here is how much money we have. It goes down to -2. And if you flip it over, it goes up to 23. And if you are at -2 and you need to spend more, then you start taking damage to your ship. But we start at 3. And our starting ship has a room for 2 cargo. We can carry 2 things. And then this represents the marauders who are trying to take these super special xenocrystals. And every time they're able to make an attempt at it, we're going to turn this card, and it tells us what to do. And eventually they'll take a crystal, we'll flip it, we've got a couple more chances, and then we lose the game to the marauders. Hopefully that won't happen. Now these other cards are a mix. Every one of these cards can do 5 different things, which is partially why I think I was having a hard time learning how to play. So they can be ships or equipment to replace the ships or equipment you have, or other crew members to replace your crew member, or they can be resources, including these xenocrystals that we're trying to collect. And then they can also act as event cards. There's an orbital encounter and a planet side encounter, and then a marketplace phase every turn. So let's just shuffle these up real quick and deal them out. I'm not going to do what the rule book says because I don't think it really matters. I'm going to deal from left to right. I think the rule book says to be right to left, but the rule book also says it doesn't matter, just be consistent. So here are the 3 encounter cards, and then 3, what are these called? Market cards maybe. And then here are all of the resources. Wow, there's a lot of crystals out there, and that's not a good thing. So here's the flow of the game. These 3 cards, you're going to resolve in order, starting with an orbital encounter from this card, then a planet side encounter from this card, and then we go to the market phase using the marketplace on this card. During the market phase, you can spend money to buy some of these resources or to buy various upgrades. And then when the round is done, this rightmost upgrade flips over and goes to the end of this row. This card flips over and goes into this row. These slide down, and this card from here flips over and goes here. And every time a xenocrystal goes from this row down into this row, we're going to rotate this card, and that means things are going to get bad for us. So we don't really want a lot of xenocrystals up here at the beginning of the game, but hey, here we are. So if that was confusing at all, just stick around, it'll make sense. We are starting with this orbital encounter on the first turn. So it says marauders are on the hunt for spare parts. Receive 2 points of damage or lose 1 spare part. Well, I don't have any spare parts. This is spare parts. I don't have anything in my cargo hold, so I guess I have to take 2 points of damage. So I go from having 1 shield to 3, 2 points left on my hull. Then we go to the planet side encounter. It says, it's the annual sale at the shipyard, and you arrive just in time to get in on the deals. You may purchase an available ship for $2 less than its cost. Well, there are no ships here for sale, so I don't even have the opportunity to take part in that sale. So now we go to the marketplace phase, and so this is where some of the interesting decisions take place. So you can see these are the current prices for the 4 material types. So Xenocrystals are always 20. They cost 20 to buy one of those. But right now, an asteroid costs 2, spare parts cost 4, liquefuel costs 7, and pluranium costs 7. And knowing that these cards are going to slide down, you can look at the upcoming cards to see what the prices are going to be. So for example, asteroids cost 2 now, but we can sell them for 3 next round, whereas liquefuel costs 7 now, and they're only worth 3 next time. So we don't want to buy high and sell low. We want to try and maximize our money so that we can get to these $20 Xenocrystals, because we do need to buy 2 of those in order to win the game. Now this is also the time when I can buy any of these things, but these costs are 7, 6, and 10, and I just can't afford them. So I think I just need to start small. I'm going to buy 1 asteroid for 2, and for $2, I'm going to say dollars. We put that in my cargo hold. The rest of these slide down. And remember, my cargo hold only holds 2. So that's the end of the round. So now this comes here. This flips over. These slide down. And this goes here. And had that been a Xenocrystal, we would rotate this Marauder card. So let's do the next round now. So we start with this orbital encounter. This says, a damaged vessel needs critical parts. Receive 2 points of damage to gain a pluranium. And that's if available in the resource row and you have cargo space. We do have the cargo space. I couldn't really afford 2 damage, and there's no pluranium here anyway, so it's a moot point. So now we move on to this planet side encounter. Your crew takes some time off to explore the planet. Gain $1. I'm up to 2. And now we're in the market phase. So I know I want to sell this asteroid because it's worth 3 now. Then they'll be worth 1 next time and then 3 again. So let's sell this. Get 3. So now I have $5. And I'm going to spend 2 on these spare parts. Those are worth 2 now, but they'll be worth 5 next time. I think next time I'm going to want to buy up these asteroids because I see those are going to go up. And I think I'm also going to spend 2 on this, which I've never purchased before. This is equipment. This is an expanded cargo hold. So your ship's cargo hold may carry 1 additional resource or Xenocrystal. Yeah, by the way, the Xenocrystals do not actually count as resources. They're a different thing. Now we can only have 1 upgrade, so I'm going to get rid of my basic shields. This replaces it. There we go. And I think I'm also going to use this crew member's ability. I'm going to spend $1 to repair the hull 1 time. So I'm at full hull strength now because I no longer have shields. So that's the end of this round. So this liquid fuel is going to come up here. These slide, this flips, and now this Xenocrystal comes down here. And since that was a crystal that just passed, now we go from 4 to 3 on this enemy counter. So let's start the next round. So we start with this orbital encounter. You find a cache long forgotten. Gain the leftmost resource in the resource row. I'm pretty okay with that. And you know, sometimes it says leftmost or rightmost, and sometimes it says first or last. And so I always think about those as the direction that they're moving. They're moving this way in the resource row, so I think of this one as being first and this one as being last. Same thing for these rows if that ever comes up. If you think of first, last, that's just sort of the direction everything flows. So anyway, now we go to this planet side encounter. A group of Lorphin arms dealers tries to scare you. Lose $1 or receive 1 point of damage. I think I'll take the damage for now. So that goes down to 2. Now we're in the market phase. I'm going to start by selling these spare parts. And that gets me 5. And so these asteroids right now cost 1 and will sell for 3. Liquid fuel costs 3 and will sell for 6. So I make a greater margin on the liquid fuel, so I should buy that if I can. Although I'm kind of tempted to sell this one out of my cargo hold for 3 now to get me up to 8, and then I can get this crew member to replace that one. So this one can, you know, repair my hull once per turn. But this one is a great trader. They cost 6 to recruit, but then at the beginning of every market phase, you gain $2 every round. You just lose the ability to repair your ship. I think I can't take that risk right now, so I'm going to spend, I've got 5, 1, 2, 3 on this liquid fuel, and then I can still hold 1 more item. Let's grab an asteroid anyway. It's better than nothing. And that's it for this round, so this comes up here. This flips over. This Xenocrystal comes down to here. That's why we don't want all these Xenocrystals at the beginning, and we start a new round. Let's maybe straighten some of these out a little bit. Okay. So orbital encounter on this card. Kind-hearted mechanic stops by offering her repair services for free. Repair up to 2 points of damage. So that's great. This goes up to 3, and that's maximum hull strength for this ship. Next is this planet-side encounter. The shipyard workers are on strike. You may not purchase any new ships or equipment this turn. But I think I could theoretically hire crew. I don't know that I'm going to do that. Yeah, it only specifies ships and equipment, not crew. So now we go to the marketplace phase, and I'm going to sell everything I've got. So I'm going to sell 2 liquid fuel barrels. Well, maybe I'll start with the asteroid. Let's put the asteroid at the end here. Sell that for 3. So go up to 4. Now I'm going to sell 2 of these for 6 each. So I'm at 4. That gives me another 12. So now I'm up to 16. That's good. That's going the right direction. And then there's 2 crew that are here that I could hire. So we already saw the expert trader. The other is the engineer, who costs $8 to hire. And they will repair your hull or shield once per turn for free. And then you can pay $1 to repeat that. So that is pretty nice, but I'm at max hull strength. I think I'm going to go for the expert trader now. So I'm at 16. I'm going to spend 6 to hire the expert trader. So now I'm down to 10. And this is my new... This is my new crew member. And do I want to buy any resources? Yeah, it looks like spare parts and pluranium are both going up by $2 in value. So let's buy 1 of each of those because that's what's available here. So that's going to cost me 2 and 5. That's 7. So I go from 10 down to 3. And that's it. So this comes up here, this goes here, another crew member, and this Xenocrystal comes down here. It's really bad that we got all those at the beginning. Okay, now we're at the next orbital encounter. A low-level marauder mistakes you for a criminal and passes you as loot. Gain $1. That was fortunate. Most of those planet or orbital encounters are pretty rough, but here's a rough planet-side encounter to make up for it. A micro black hole appears in your cargo hold. Lose 1 resource. So these are going to be worth 4 this time. This is going to be worth 7, so I guess I'm going to lose this one, which stinks. That's going to eat into my profit. And now we go into the marketplace phase, and my expert trader is going to give me $2. And now I can sell my pluranium for $7. So I'm at 6. So that gets me to 13. All right, now what do I want to do with my 13? So there's another crew member here. This is the expert navigator. Their higher cost is $5. You may skip an entire turn, and you cannot use it 2 turns in a row. I don't know that that's super helpful. I don't really want to skip turns. I want to maximize the marketplace phase as much as I can. All right, so the only resource that's going up in value next time is going to be the liquid fuel. It's going to go up by 3. So they cost 4 now, so I'm going to spend 8. So it goes from 13 down to 5 to pick up the 2 liquid fuel. And then I should be able to sell that next time for a little bit of profit. So we'll keep rotating. Here comes the asteroid. Flip this over. There's a really big ship. I don't think I want that. Bring this down. That was not a Xenocrystal, so I don't need to rotate that card. And now we go to this orbital encounter. Electrical storms interfere with your shielding. Your shields receive 2 points of damage. Well, I don't have any shields, so I don't have to worry about that. And then you witness a crime and the marauders turn on you. Receive 2 points of damage. Man, that is devastating to get those 2 back to back. That is not good. I need to repair something pretty desperately. So now we go into the marketplace phase. I gain 2 resources up to 7. I'm going to sell my 2 liquid fuel for 7 each. So that gets me 14. And I'm at 7. So now I'm up to 21, which would be enough to buy a Xenocrystal if there was one out here, but there is not. So what I think I might do is buy this ship. I've never bought it before. It seems like overkill, but I have the money and I don't know what else to do with it. So it costs 16. So I'm going to go from 21 down to 5. But I'm pretty... My ship has sustained a lot of damage, and when you get a new ship, you go to full health. So this is the Titanic. It has 5 hull space, and up to 2 shields if you have the upgrades. And then the cargo space is 5 by default, plus I have expanded cargo, so 6. I have room for 6 in my cargo hold, 6 items. And I'm still at $5, and I'm going to spend 2 to pick up these 2 asteroids. That'll make me just a little bit, but the spare parts are flat on price. The liquid fuel is going down. The polonium is going from 6 to 8, but it's just that's I only have 3, and that's gonna really cause issues for me to go that low. So I'd rather just buy the asteroids going from 1 to 2. So let's settle this again. The spare parts come here. It goes there. This goes here. And a new orbital encounter. So this orbital encounter says, interstellar dust clouds damage your instruments. Receive 1 point of damage for each item you buy or sell this turn. That stinks. And just cross-referencing the rule book, it sounds like resources, or if there are any xenocrystals, those count as items. It's not just these things down here. So don't love that. And then the planet side encounter says, you find an opening at the shipyard. You may repair any hull or shield damage for $1 per point of damage. So I don't have any damage to repair right now, which is too bad, because if I sell those asteroids, I will take some damage and I won't have a way to repair it. But we go to the marketplace phase, and I gain $2 from my expert trader. And these asteroids are not going to get any more valuable, unfortunately. So I'm going to sell them. I'm selling 2 of them for 2 each, $2 each. So that gets me $4. So I go from 5 to 9. But because of the orbital encounter, I take 1 point of damage for each of those. So I go down to 3. And now I need to take a little bit of risk, because I still need to increase my money, because these xenocrystals are coming up and I can't afford to let them go down the line again. I've got to buy them. So I can't pause on my purchasing. So I'm going to get spare parts twice. That's 3 each. So I go from 9 down to 3. And because of, again, that orbital encounter, I take 2 more hits of damage. So I have 1 more hull space left, which is super risky, very dangerous. But that's the end of the round. So that goes there. This goes here. And this goes here. Man, I feel like all the ships ended up together. All the crew ended up together. It's really making for a strange playthrough. Oh, and this is not going to help. So the orbital encounter says, you enter a short-range wormhole. This turn ends immediately. Skip the planet side encounter and market phase. That's really bad, because I was counting on this planet side encounter that allowed me to cheaply repair all that damage I just took. And now by skipping this, the spare parts that I bought are going to be worth a lot less next time. So I am in big, big trouble now. So that's the end of that turn. So now there's a xenocrystal up here. Really need to buy it. And let's see what happens with this orbital encounter. Hopefully I get more luck. An item is confiscated during a cargo inspection. Lose 1 resource unless you pay $4 to keep it. Well, it's just not worth that much to me now, so I guess I lose a resource. And then the planetary encounter says you recover a missing relic. Gain $2, so I go from 3 to 5. And now we enter the marketplace phase, so I go from 5 to 7. And now I've got these spare parts, but I don't want to sell them now because they're only going to sell for 2. I thought they were going to, sell for more previously. So I got to hold on to them until next time, and they'll sell for 5. And really, the best use of the money I've got is probably to spend 2 to get this darn spare parts back. And I've got 5 left. I think I'm going to spend it all, really taking a risk, on this planetary scanner. So I don't really need this big cargo hold anymore, because I can hold 5 items. Oh, wait a minute. Let's put that back up to 5. I thought this was a different card. We'll just leave it right here. So I guess I'll just leave it how it is and end this turn. So I've got another Xenocrystal coming up here. That's going to put some pressure on me. Flip this over. Basic shielding. So I must be getting close to where I started cards-wise. So this orbital encounter says, a wealthy business person asks you for a ride. Gain $1 if you have less than a full cargo hold. Because I've got this giant ship, I could hold 3 more items. Plus, I've still got this cargo hold. I could hold 4 more. So yes, I get $1. Go up to 6. And then the planet side encounter says you find an abandoned cargo transport. If there's an asteroid in the resource row and you have cargo space, you may take it. I will. And now we go to the marketplace phase. So with my expert trader, I go up to 8. And I'm going to sell both of these spare parts for 5 each. So that's 10. So I go from 8 to 18. Okay. And if I sell this asteroid now, it's only worth 1. That'll get me to 19. If I wait till next time, it'll be worth 2. It'll get me to 20, and I can buy a Xenocrystal. And you know what, though? I think I'm going to spend 3, 18, 17, 16, 15 to get my basic shielding back. I don't need this big cargo hold anymore with this big ship. And when you buy this, it turns your shield on, it repairs everything all the way up. So I really needed that extra health because I was living on the razor's edge. I also see that asteroids have a value of 1 and pluranium has a value of 5. And I think that's the lowest value you can get either of those for. So I'd kind of like to buy them both. I've got the money and the cargo space, but that's going to put the Xenocrystal first in line, and I'm going to take another loss if I do that. So I don't love that. And they're both going up in price, but not dramatically. So from both of them, from this turn to the next, go up by value in 1 and then by 1 again. So I don't know if I want to hold on to them for 2 rounds either. So anyway, I think I'll just spend 1 to buy the asteroid. I think that's the smallest amount of risk. So let's do that. So this is going to come up here. This is going to go over. This is going to come down. And I can clean that up a little bit. So now we have, in this orbital encounter, a damaged vessel needs critical parts. Receive 2 points of damage to gain a pluranium if available in the resource row and you have cargo space. Well, there is no pluranium, so I can't do that. And then in the planet side encounter, a spy is looking to trade ships. You may purchase an available ship for the difference in cost between your ship and the new one. And there are no ships available here to purchase, so we go to the marketplace. I start by gaining $2, and I'm going to sell both of these asteroids for 2 each. That's 4 total. So I go from 16 to 20, and I may as well spend 20 to get my first Xenocrystal. So that comes up here. It does take cargo space, but it is not a resource. And I think that's all I'm going to be able to do. So this comes here. This goes here. This Xenocrystal comes down, and now this was on 1, so what does the card tell me to do? It says at 1, instead of rotating down, remove the crystal from the game and flip this over. So we've just lost this crystal. That's out of the game. Now we're here, so we've only got so many pieces left, and this replaces what was lost. I guess I'll put this here. Marauders got 1 crystal, I've got a crystal. So the new orbital encounter is solar winds throw off your navigation. Shuffle and deal out the colony, upgrade, and resource row cards at the end of this turn. So this is all going to get shuffled and then dealt back out at random. So next is the planet side encounter. A group of Lorphan arms dealers tries to scare you. Lose 1 hull or 1 point of damage. Oh, lose $1 or 1 point of damage. So I'll take the damage. That's fine. And now we go into the market phase. This goes up by 2. So I'm at 2. And the only things out here are asteroids, which are at a price of 3. I think that's their highest. And spare parts, which are also at 3. I think those go from 2 to 5. So I can kind of roll the dice and buy some spare parts just to have something to hopefully sell. But I don't know that that's worth it. So I don't think I'm going to get anything this market phase. So that's the end of the turn. So I'm going to shuffle this all up. Let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oof, Xenocrystal coming up. All right, well, I hope this is better position than where I left off. So what do we do in this next orbital encounter? It says a Groksh Lord gives you a choice. Lose $2 or receive 2 points of damage. Well, I'll lose the $2 because I can get that back more easily. The planet side encounter says out-of-work mechanics offer to help with repairs. You may repair your ship to full hull shields for $2. I wish I had read that first. because I would have been at the same place money-wise, but I would have had one more shield. Oh well. So let's go to the market phase. I have nothing to sell, and even though Pluranium is going up in price, I can't really do anything about it because I have 0 money and they cost 5 to purchase. So I'm kind of stuck. I can't really buy any of this stuff. So it's going to be a burned round, which is really going to hurt. So this is going to come up here. This is going to flip over. This is going to come down. And we go to our next orbital encounter. Marauders are on the hunt for resources. Receive 3 points of damage or lose 1 liquifuel or 1 pluranium. That's really bad too. 3 points of damage. And then a competitor loses a valuable customer due to a cultural misunderstanding. You may buy any one resource for $3. And when you know it, I'm at 0, and it only goes down to -2. Can't go that much in debt. So I can't take advantage of that either. That's really too bad because I could have bought, say, this for 3 and then sell it for 7 now. So, man, I'm really in bad shape. So we go into the marketplace phase, I get $2, and I can only afford asteroids, of which there are none, or spare parts, of which there are also none, and they're going down in price. So I am really in a bad way. I'm going to have to burn this market phase as well. So that's going to come up. This is going to flip over. This Xenocrystal is going to come down, which means I've only got 1 more chance. No more Xenocrystals can pass, or I'm going to lose the game. So a low-level marauder mistakes you for a criminal and passes you as loot. I like that one. Get $1. And then the planet-side encounter says, with a shortage of jobs, locals are willing to negotiate rates. You may hire an available crew member for $2 less than their cost. And I would really kind of like to hire this engineer, but even going into debt, I'm going to be $1 short, so I can't take advantage of that. So we go into the market phase, go from 3 to 5, and I really need to claw my way out of this hole. So I'm going to spend 6. I have 5, so I go down to -1 to buy these 2 liquifuel for 3 each. They'll both be worth 6 next time, and then I will be in a much better position. The pluranium's going up as well, but I can't afford it. I can't afford the asteroid even, but I guess those are going to be flat in price. So let's get ready for the next round. And let's hope we get lucky. The orbital encounter says, you enter a short-range wormhole. This turn ends immediately. Skip the planet-side encounter and market phase. That is not so lucky. Okay. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. All right, at least we don't have any Xenocrystals on the horizon, but I gotta get some money. So the orbital encounter, a damaged vessel needs critical parts. Receive 2 points of damage to gain a pluranium if available, and there is not one available, and the 2 points of damage would destroy me anyway. The planet-side encounter, you receive or you recover a missing relic, gain $2. So I go from -1 to 1. And now my expert trader gets me up to 3. And now I should probably sell this liquifuel. What was I going to sell it for before? For 6? Now I got to sell it for 5, I guess. But I got to take what I can get. I'm going to sell both of these. 5 each. So I go from 3 to 13. That's not nothing. And what else can I buy? The asteroids are going down in price. The liquifuel is going to be flat, but the spare parts will go up by 2. So I'm going to buy this for 3. So I go from 13 down to 10. Okay, and end the round. So electrical storms interfere with your shielding. Your shields receive 2 points of damage. Well, I don't have any shields right now, so that's okay. A group of Lorphan arms dealers tries to scare you. Lose $1 or 1 point of damage. I better lose the money. And now we go into the marketplace phase. So I go from 9 up to 11. So my expert trader is he's made his money back anyway. And I'll sell these spare parts for 5. So I go from 11 to 16. And now what can I do? Well, the asteroid only costs 1, and that'll go up to 3 next time, so that's pretty good. Oh, and let's do this. What does this cost? 10? Go from 15 down to 5. I'm going to buy this equipment, orbital or long-range scanners. So you may ignore any orbital encounters except solar winds. So that's the first event. So I'm at 2 health. Still have 2 health. I don't have the ability to get shields anymore, but that'll give me some control over some of these bad events. And with the $5 I have left, I'm going to buy 1 liquefuel. Let's go down to 0. So that should go up by 1. So we end that round. I think I might be able to buy this Xenocrystal when it comes around, if I'm lucky. So orbital encounter, an item is confiscated during cargo inspection. Lose 1 resource unless you pay $4 to keep it. But because I have the long-range scanner, I can skip that encounter. And again, it says I can skip any of the encounters except solar winds, which is the one that makes you shuffle everything. So now we're going to move on to the planet side encounter. You find an opening at the shipyard. You may repair any hull or shield damage for $1 per point of damage. So I think I am going to spend 1, 2 to repair 1, 2. Now I'm in pretty good shape. So we go into the marketplace phase, go from -2 to 0. I'm going to sell this asteroid for 3. And I'm going to sell the liquid fuel for 6, even though it'll be worth 7 next time. So that gets me up to 9, because now I can reallocate that money to buy all 3 of these spare parts for 6 total. And those are going to be worth a total of 15 next time. So I think I'll be able to buy this Xenocrystal that's coming around as long as nothing messes me up. So go here, and here, and here. So getting down to the wire here, but I think I might actually pull this off. The orbital encounter is marauders are on the hunt for spare parts. Receive 2 points of damage or lose 1 spare parts. But instead, I think I'm going to use my long-range scanner to ignore that orbital encounter and go to the planet side encounter. You find an abandoned cargo transport. If there's an asteroid in the resource row and you have cargo space, you may take it. There's no asteroid. So now we go to the marketplace phase. I go from $3 to 5, and I'm going to sell all 3 of these spare parts. 5, 10, $15, and I'm at 5. So that gets me up to 20, and I'm going to spend that 20 immediately on this Xenocrystal. So I go down to 0, and I have just won SpaceShipped. So there you have it. That was probably my closest game that I was able to win. I only had 1 Xenocrystal left before I lost the game, so that was really close. Maybe unlike some of the other button shy games that I've played, this one can take a while. This was a longer game. In real time, it was about 50 minutes, but I've edited that down for your enjoyment. It doesn't always take that long. Sometimes I lose super fast in like the first couple turns, so it's kind of all over the place. So it's a little bit just reliant on the initial shuffle. But after I learned how to play, I thought it was a pretty good time. So this is another of the button shy solo wallet games that I purchased on my own. This was not promoted, and I really like it. I know there's some expansions for it. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I don't think I want any expansions for this particular one, but I am happy that I've got it. So if you're still here and you like these solo games, feel free to subscribe and like this video and share it with somebody else who you think might enjoy the channel. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments. So that's what I've got on Table for One this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.